Hello, my name is Chelsea Miller, and I decided to do my educational thinker presentation on B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner was an American psychologist that was well known for his influences on a philosophy of science known as behavioralism. Through the contributions that he made to educational psychology, he made several large impacts on education. From the method of learning called operant conditioning, Skinner's ideas was able to impact education with the strategy of positive reinforcement, which is one of my favorite strategies to use when teaching my kindergartners appropriate behavior. Positive reinforcement can help strengthen an appropriate behavior by providing a consequence that a student finds rewarding. For example, if a student completes a really complicated math assignment and gets all of the answers correct, I can reinforce this behavior through a specific reward that student finds reinforcing, like a piece of candy or free time on the iPad. Positive reinforcement has been proven as an effective behavioral strategy for educators to use when correcting students' behaviors in the classroom. Many of Skinner's ideas were based around analyzing behaviors. Therefore, through his ideas about operant analysis, he was able to impact education through the ABC formation, or otherwise known as the ABC analysis. ABC analysis stands for antecedent events, behavior, and consequences. Antecedent events comes to set the occasion for behavior because behavior has been rewarded or punished in their presence. As a behavior management technique in the classroom, educators can make an ABC analysis chart in order to record a student's inappropriate behaviors and find interventions and solutions that will help eliminate or correct any inappropriate or unwanted behavior. Also, Skinner's ideas about explanatory fictions help positively impact education by eliminating educators' tendency to use fictitious explanations about students and to actually find valuable solutions to help change students' academic and social behaviors. Educators, like I said, they have the tendency to search for explanations by focusing on factors thought to reside in some way within the person or the student. For example, a teacher might say that their student has a negative attitude because they're always late for class, they're not participating, or because they might turn in their assignments late and incomplete. This is a fictitious explanation because the teacher is explaining the student's behavior and not the student. Therefore, an explanatory fiction is a statement that merely describes in different terms the behavior which is supposedly already being explained. Because of Skinner's idea on explanatory fictions, educators now realize that they should not label a student with fictitious explanations, but concentrate more on antecedents and environmental factors that are causing the student to show inappropriate or negative behaviors. B.F. Skinner faced much criticism because of his operant psychology theories. He believed that operant conditioning plays a greater role in the survival of organisms and evolutions than the innate flight or fight reactions of individuals. Skinner believed that over time, humans have modified their behavior to escape or avoid adversive stimuli, which acts as negative reinforcement. Skinner did not believe in innate instincts such as fight or flight. Skinner believed that humans had developed patterns of social organization. Therefore, through operant conditioning, where a reward is a positive reinforcer and a punishment is a negative reinforcer, Skinner believed that humans can be made to behave as society would like them to, as long as the proper formulation of social contingencies were applied. However, Sigmund Freud did not think this way. For Freud, his theories of unconscious and mental process were very different than Skinner's operant psychology theories. Freud believed that acts of the will and social changes were determined by preceding natural events. Freud assured individuals of their own free will. He believed that individuals were the architects of their own destinies. My critiques with Skinner are based around his conflicts with cognitive science. Skinner believed that the concepts of the mind and self are useless and damaging inventions, which are resorted to when we cannot otherwise account for our actions. For Skinner, feelings were not important when it came to scientific account of behavior because they are collateral effects of the causes of behavior. Therefore, Skinner thought that individuals do not behave because of our feelings. Behavior does not start with feelings. He believed that an individual's genetic and environmental histories are responsible for both our behavior and the changes in our body in which we feel. I do not necessarily agree with this. Being an educator, I've seen students act out because of their feelings and how they are currently feeling at the time. I've had students who were considered to be modeled students. Then, like a flip of a switch, they can come back the next day after something has happened at home and they're acting out. They're showing negative and inappropriate behaviors as a cry for help and attention from us educators because of their home situation. Therefore, I do not completely agree that feelings do not have some control over our behavior. Maybe not primary control. I agree that environments and genetics do play somewhat of a role, but I also feel that feelings definitely come into account for some students when it comes to their behavior and the ways that they behave in which they do.